There is so much advice out there for packing, but I really wanted to share with you some unique and personally tested hacks that I think you haven't likely heard of. Packing, both the what and how, can be quite stressful. The more you pack, the more you have to keep track of, lug around, and can potentially lose, like so many others who check their luggage at an airport. That's why we only use carry-on luggage, pack lightly, and organize well. Let's jump into my 12 unique packing hacks that will make your travel less stressful. What I have here ready to pack is enough for 2 people to go on a vacation for at least 1 to 2 weeks, if not a month or more. In fact, when we went traveling for a year internationally, this is about as much as we packed. We are minimalists at heart, so let me help you figure out how to pack these things and how to do it well so that it's really easy while you travel. Tip number 1 is to try to pack all of your electronics into one bag. This really just helps at the airport when you have to pull out all of your electronics for security to scan all of your items. We've made the mistake of putting them in a variety of bags, and then we get there and we have to remember where they all are, and we've forgotten to take them out. So it just slows down your time. It kind of becomes stressful. So we put it all into one bag so that it's just easier to get through airport security. While we're traveling, our electronics might be dispersed into our own personal bag if we need it, and things like that, both because when you're traveling, just in case one bag gets damaged or stolen, then not all of your really valuable things are in one bag. But for the purposes of traveling through the airport, it is really helpful to have it all in one place to take out for security. Tip number 2, very similar to tip number 1, is to also do this with your liquids. We put all of our liquids into one of our toiletry bags. We put it in our other backpack so that one person is responsible for all of the electronics and the other person is responsible for all of the liquids and ensuring that they get them all out there for security. Of course, we also put all of our liquids into a clear plastic bag as is required at airports. And honestly, it makes it so in case it spills or anything that it's in a nice Ziploc bag where it's not going to drip all over the place. And this toiletry bag takes me to tip number 3. Bring all of your medication that you need with you in an easy to access toiletry bag that's in your personal items bag. So not in your carry-on where it's a lot harder to get at if you need it, but in your personal item. The reason why I do this is because I have some pretty bad allergies, and there's a lot of things on airplanes that can trigger my allergies. Having allergy medication and things like that is really important, but you might have other medication that you need to take while you're on the flight. So just ensure that it's in a toiletry bag or something that's really easy to access and pull out in your personal item. Tip number 4 is to choose a backpack over a handheld bag. I say this because we made the mistake of having a handheld bag before when we were going on our extended trip. The problem was that it's annoying to have to carry it around by hand. So we would try to strap it onto our luggage. Even though it's strapped on and everything, it would still just flop over. And when it flopped over, the entire bag would go with it. It became super annoying when you're trying to drag your bag across cobblestone roads, anything uneven, and our bag just would topple right over. And on top of that, this is not the type of bag that you want to have to carry around with you on a day trip. Backpacks are super comfortable and they can be used as a day pack. I love this one. It's a Nordis. They do not sponsor this video, but I really love this. It's beautiful. It has all the compartments you might need. I can put my laptop in here if I really want to go. Let's say I had to go do some work at a local coffee shop. Having something like this is a really lovely bag to have. We have one backpack for all of our electronics, while this one is used for things like snacks, our water bottle that we'll fill up after security, our important documents maybe in here, any of our paperwork we might need, or earbuds that we might want. Tip number 5 is to buy yourself quality luggage. Again, we made so many mistakes when we went traveling. We wanted to be cheap, but the problem is that you buy these kind of cheaper bags, there was cloth bags, and the handles started to fall apart. It didn't feel very safe, like your stuff could get wrecked really easily when it's a soft top, and it only had the 2 wheels that you had to drag over all of these uneven roads and sidewalks, and it was just not ideal. And so when Level 8 reached out and asked to sponsor our video, we were excited because we were able to order ourselves some hard shell luggage. Level 8 encouraged us to give you a full and honest review. We will be honest with you because we wouldn't want you to go and buy something that you don't like. I picked the beautiful pink glitter luggage and Nathan picked this handsome green luggage. What we love about these carry-ons are the hard shell that acts as kind of extra security for the things inside of your luggage. The hard shell also makes it so that you can't overstuff and then have like the airline tell you like, no, the bag is too big. We ran into problems like that with our soft shell that allowed us to expand farther than what is allowed in an airplane. So this just keeps us in check. We love that it actually has a lock for security. If we're at an accommodations and we want to put in our electronics into the bag, we can lock it and store it under the bed. It just reduces the opportunity to easily steal our things. We also love that when you open it up, it is two-sided with a mesh cover, so it keeps your things even more organized. I love when my travel stuff is organized. It makes it so easy to find everything. And we love that it has the 4 wheels, so much easier than 2-wheeled suitcases. It is so much nicer and smoother to get around. If you are interested in buying a Level 8 suitcase, we do have a discount code in the description below. Just go there and also follow the link and we'll make it really easy for you to grab one for yourself. Tip number 6 is when you do go to buy yourself some quality luggage, ensure that you're getting the appropriate size for the travel you are doing. Keep in mind that in North America, carry-on sizes can be quite different than what you might find in Europe. So if you plan to take a lot of hop over airlines like Ryanair or things like that, then know that their carry-on size can be quite different than what you might see here in North America. Okay, moving on to what you're packing into your carry-ons. Let's talk about clothes. One thing that you want to do is ensure that you are packing a capsule wardrobe. You've probably heard that term before, but in case you haven't, a capsule wardrobe is when you are very intentional about the clothes that you keep in your wardrobe. Usually it's no more than 30 items. In our case, in this instance, it's maybe 10 items each. You make it so that everything that you have works together. This is far easier for my husband, I find, because he really is just like, I'm just gonna bring some shorts, maybe a pair of pants or two, and some shirts, right? And all he has to do is make sure his bottoms are black, maybe gray or tan kind of color, maybe brown. His shirts can be just about anything and probably match most of the bottoms that he's gonna bring. For me, however, there's a lot more versatility in what I can pack. I tend to go with shorts, of course. I love bringing a comfortable t-shirt. Then I also, of course, bring some nicer shirts with me. And I love bringing rompers and dresses. They're just one piece. It's so easy to pick out what you're gonna wear that day. Here's my one item. I'm just gonna slip that on. If you really are concerned about having too much leg showing with your dresses or something, I do bring one pair of tights and I also bring some yoga shorts that I can wear under my dress. And those are also versatile for comfy days and different situations. Ensuring that you are packing a versatile, small amount of clothing is incredibly important to making sure that you're not overstuffing these bags. Another not sponsor for this video is Vessi shoes. Now you don't have to get Vessis themselves, but I do want to point out how important it is to be able to get a footwear that is also very versatile. So this is actually an added tip. I didn't even count it in my 12, but these Vessis are actually waterproof runner kind of shoes. So they're super comfortable, very flexible, and easy to slip on and off. A capsule wardrobe leads me to tip number 8. Because you have such a limited wardrobe, we tend to make it so that these items are versatile, and yes, we do wear some of our clothes more than once throughout the week. But we always ensure that we have enough underwear and socks for about 10 days. Hopefully we can do our laundry once a week, but if we really need to stretch it, we have enough clean underwear and socks for 10 days. And of course, if you're going to be somewhere for 2 weeks or more, you're gonna have to do some laundry. And in that case, my tip is to bring some of these laundry detergent strips. Not only are they actually better for the environment because those big bulky plastic things are not great for our environment anyways, these are so small. This is 32 washes. This sheet is actually really 2 washes. You could pull this in half and have enough for 2 washes. You don't have to also go buy one of those big things and then lug it around all over the place. You can just simply have these little sheets. And they smell good too. And one more thing to help with your wardrobe is to ensure that you pack your lighter items and wear your bulkier items on the airplane. I will wear a pair of jeans and a long sleeve shirt, maybe a sweater, maybe my raincoat. If you have layers, you can kind of take them off and tuck them away as needed. But I usually wear my bulkier items, including my shoes, and put my flip-flops or my sandals or whatever into my carry-on. This ensures that I can still bring these bigger items and save space in my carry-on. Tip number 10, I love having this mesh bag. Gotta say, I'm not 100% certain I remember where I got it. Probably just like a Walmart or something. But having a mesh bag like this has actually been really versatile for us. 2 of the main uses we have for this. One is dirty laundry. It's really great for just putting our dirty laundry in. We can pack it in our bag that way, or we can bring it into the laundromat or whatever with the bag. Number 2 is a beach bag. We use this a lot when we're going traveling with our kids. So we put their goggles in here, towels, and whatever else that we want to bring to the beach with us. So this is actually a really great one for things like the beach, because then all the sand can be shaken out before you head home. And our final 2 tips. Tip number 11 is to have a packing list on your phone. I used to just kind of pack as I went, and I'd make a checklist on a piece of paper or something like that. And every time we went to go on a trip, whether that was an international trip or a road trip or an overnight trip just wherever, it doesn't really matter. I would just continually make a new list every time I did that stuff. And honestly, it gets kind of tiring. And when you're getting ready to go on a bigger trip, especially when we went on the year-long trip, it was so important to have a good checklist, one that was really thorough and had all of the items that we knew we needed to take with us. And now this serves a few purposes. One, if you have it on your phone, and we use Samsung Notes, but you can also use like Google Docs or anything like that, and you can make an actual checklist that you can check the boxes on and off. And that way you can use it over and over again. It also saves you the stress of wondering if you have everything that you need. You'll have your full list there, and anytime you go somewhere and you're like, crap, we should have brought this, you can add it to your list and just keep it fluid, making sure you're adding and subtracting anything that you feel that you need to. It's so important that when you're packing to leave to go either to another destination or to come back home, that you are not leaving anything behind, because you have your full list to check through and ensure that you have it. With so few things, everything that you are bringing is important. Our final tip, number 12, is to have everything in its place. Now this kind of sums up everything that I have said so far. We are very particular about having a place for everything and having a reason that those things have a place. When you're trying to pack so many items into such a tight space and you're living out of backpacks and carry-on bags, it's so important for those things to have a place. So ensure that you are mindful about where you're putting your things to make your travel just so much easier when you get going. If you are looking for a quality packing list, something that you can easily grab, put on your phone for you to have anytime you're traveling, check for a link in our description below, because I'm going to put together a packing list for you. Just make sure you transfer it to your phone, and so that it's there anytime that you're going. Make sure to also adjust it to your own personal packing style. Add, subtract as you need. If you want to share any extra hacks, add them to the comments below as well. So thank you for joining me every further mile.